Many people believe that heartburn is just a normal part of getting older, an uncomfortable annoyance they must quietly accept. Yet for so many adults over 65, that burning sensation in the chest and throat can compromise not only physical comfort, but also a sense of independence. It can disrupt sleep, limit food choices at social gatherings, and even cause a reluctance to leave the house for fear of sudden flare-ups. If you have ever found yourself declining an invitation or altering your plans just because you worry that heartburn might strike, you are not alone. The truth is, heartburn impacts more than your digestion. It can shape your daily decisions and influence how free and confident you feel in your own body. Addressing heartburn after 65 is important because at this stage in life, your health priorities often shift from simply living longer to living well. You want to enjoy gatherings with friends and family without that unpleasant burning in your chest that seems to come out of nowhere. You hope to eat the foods you love, rest peacefully through the night, and maintain the energy to do the activities that bring you joy. More importantly, you want to remain the expert of your own life, making choices based on what feels right for you, rather than letting heartburn decide which foods or events are now off limits. Today, you will discover a perspective that many older adults have found surprisingly valuable. We will explore how the right H2 blocker can offer a different approach to heartburn management, one that often involves fewer concerns about long-term side effects compared to other medications. You will learn key insights about why heartburn becomes more frequent with age, how certain misconceptions might be preventing you from finding real relief, and how some subtle lifestyle choices can work hand in hand with medication to improve your comfort and independence. Together, we will challenge the idea that heartburn is unavoidable, or that the only answer is a medication that might not always be the best fit, especially if you are taking multiple prescriptions for other conditions. The goal here is to empower you with practical steps. Whether you see yourself as someone who has been taking acid-blocking medications for years without fully understanding how they work, or you are simply fed up with the burning and discomfort, there is hope. In the next few moments, we will look at the facts behind senior heartburn, highlight an H2 blocker often recommended for its senior-friendly profile, and consider new manageable habits you can adopt. Above all, you will feel more confident in guiding your own health journey because true independence means making decisions that align with your body's unique needs. Before we dive in, consider your current experience with heartburn. Have you ever felt that it rules your day? Are there specific events or foods you avoid out of caution? As you think about your own situation, remember that sharing questions or personal stories can benefit everyone who watches or reads this content. Real stories and real solutions encourage a sense of community and help us support each other along the way. This exploration will focus on 3 vital areas. First, you will discover the reasons heartburn persists in older adults and which misconceptions often stand in the way of real relief. Next, you will uncover how the right H2 blocker, when used responsibly and in consultation with your healthcare provider, can open up new possibilities. Finally, you will see how simple lifestyle changes, tailored to older adults, can make a world of difference in sustaining comfort, confidence, and a sense of autonomy. By the end, you will have the knowledge you need to make informed decisions about your digestive health, allowing you to reclaim the freedom to enjoy life on your own terms. One step at a time, heartburn no longer needs to be a burden that limits your enjoyment of good meals, restful nights, and vibrant days. Let us begin by questioning the most common assumptions about acid reflux and aging. The answers may surprise you and might even encourage you to take a fresh look at how you manage heartburn right now. It is common for many seniors to think of heartburn as a small price to pay for their golden years. That thinking, however, can lead to missing out on activities, meals, and the peace of mind that should accompany a stage of life rich with experiences. The next few moments will challenge that view and introduce you to the tools that can help you regain a sense of control, starting with how you see the very notion of heartburn itself. It can be liberating to learn that there is a real solution, one that aligns with an older body's changing needs and limitations. As you follow along, keep a mental note of what feels familiar and what stands out as new information. You might just discover that the key to a more comfortable, more independent life is much closer than you ever imagined. The first step is to let go of outdated beliefs and take a fresh look at what is causing that burning discomfort. Are you ready to see heartburn in a new light? Let us find out together. Challenging common beliefs about why heartburn persists after 65. There is a widely held assumption that chronic heartburn is an inevitable part of life once you pass a certain age. Many people interpret heartburn as a simple matter of producing too much stomach acid, so they rely on fast-acting antacids or heavy-duty proton pump inhibitors without exploring how their digestive system actually changes over time. One misconception is that these quick fixes solve the root problem. In reality, heartburn in seniors can arise from factors as varied as slower gastric motility, weakened esophageal muscles, medication interactions, or lifestyle habits that used to be harmless, but now pack a punch. Consider Robert, a 70-year-old retired teacher who spent most of his days helping his grandchildren with homework and indulging in a slice of pie whenever he pleased. When he first started experiencing heartburn, he chalked it up to aging and began taking over-the-counter antacids. Over time, he increased the dosage and frequency, but noticed the relief lasted only a few hours. Believing that producing excess acid was his sole issue, he never questioned whether something more complex was going on. His real wake-up call came when he found himself up all night with chest discomfort so intense he feared it might be a heart issue. Fortunately, the test showed that his heart was fine, but the incident opened his eyes to the need for a more comprehensive approach. Research suggests that as we age, our ability to produce sufficient stomach acid can actually decrease, which might sound ironic if you are wrestling with intense burning, yet the sensation is not always about excessive acid. It can be about acid ending up where it does not belong, often due to a weakened or relaxed lower esophageal sphincter. It can also be caused by certain medications that slow the movement of food through the digestive tract. This challenge is more pronounced if you are on multiple prescriptions for blood pressure, pain management, or other common senior concerns. An effective way to address this misunderstanding is to assess your entire routine. If you often lie down immediately after meals or love late-night snacks, try spacing your evening meal a few hours before bedtime. Listen to how your body responds. Do you still feel that burning sensation in the middle of the night? This small change can tell you a lot about whether mechanical factors, like a relaxed esophageal valve or delayed digestion, are contributing to your discomfort. And the emotional benefit is clear. Fewer nighttime disruptions mean you wake up feeling rested and more capable of enjoying your day. Another practical step is to keep a simple journal of what you eat when you feel the most discomfort and whether you were stressed or relaxed that day. This record can reveal patterns you may not notice otherwise. The sense of control you gain from understanding your personal triggers is empowering. It places you back in the driver's seat, reminding you that heartburn is not an arbitrary phenomenon, but often has identifiable causes. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever assumed your heartburn was purely about producing too much acid? What if that assumption is only half the story? Challenging this long-held belief might open the door to more sustainable solutions, including the possibility of looking into an H2 blocker that aligns with an older adult's unique health profile. Before exploring medication, though, it is important to consider a broader context: your daily habits, your meal timing, and how your other medications might be interacting. By thinking more holistically, you set yourself up for success, reducing the trial and error frustration so many seniors face when dealing with reflux. If this feels like uncharted territory, do not worry. It is completely normal to get comfortable with a routine, taking antacids here and there, and hoping the issue resolves itself. But by investigating more deeply, you might discover that a better fitting solution is available. In fact, learning to question these assumptions is a critical part of preserving your autonomy. When you know what truly causes your heartburn, you can address it more directly, reducing the need for guesswork and quick fixes that may not serve you well in the long run. Now that we have examined why it is worth revisiting old beliefs, it is time to dive into the medication side of the story. Many older adults feel uncertain about adding yet another pill to their regimen, especially if they are already managing several prescriptions. Yet the right H2 blocker can sometimes help prevent serious complications and avoid the pitfalls of over-reliance on other acid-suppressing medications with their own set of risks. Let us explore that next. A new perspective on acid control. How H2 blockers compare. For years, proton pump inhibitors were considered the gold standard for treating recurring heartburn and GERD. However, more recent discussions among healthcare professionals reveal that these drugs may not always be the ideal choice for seniors. Extended use has been linked in some studies to concerns such as reduced bone density, kidney issues, and even potential cognitive impacts when used over very long periods. While no medication is entirely without risk, some H2 blockers, famotidine is a common example, have gained attention for offering a balanced approach between efficacy and potential side effects. This is not to say they are universally better, but rather they can be a more fitting option for certain individuals over 65 who need consistent relief without the higher level of acid suppression that proton pump inhibitors provide. There is a misconception that if a medication is strong enough to relieve heartburn, it must be the best solution for everyone. Yet consider Linda, age 72, who was put on a proton pump inhibitor by her doctor as a short-term measure to manage severe reflux. Over time, she began relying on it daily because it did seem to help. But as the months rolled on, she noticed she was becoming increasingly fatigued, and routine blood tests started to show lower levels of certain nutrients. Linda's body had changed with age, and the medication that once was a blessing now seemed to contribute to other complications. After consulting a healthcare provider, she switched to a well-tolerated H2 blocker, paired with lifestyle modifications. Her energy improved, and her heartburn stayed under better control. H2 blockers work by reducing the amount of acid your stomach produces, but they generally do not eliminate acid production as dramatically as proton pump inhibitors do. This is key for some seniors who still benefit from a certain level of stomach acid, for reasons like nutrient absorption. Additionally, the side effect profile for many H2 blockers tends to be manageable, especially when doses are carefully adjusted under professional guidance. Some common side effects can include mild drowsiness or headaches, but many older adults tolerate these medications well, particularly when taking steps to stay hydrated and maintain a healthy routine. The emotional benefit of switching to or starting with an H2 blocker can be significant. If you are already juggling prescriptions for blood pressure, arthritis, or other common age-related concerns, you probably do not want to add more complexity than necessary. Finding a single medication that relieves heartburn without causing you to worry constantly about side effects can restore a sense of calm and control. It also reinforces your sense of independence, because you are not being weighed down by yet another health burden. You can enjoy family meals or social events without the looming fear of reflux spoiling your time. One essential tip is to maintain open communication with your healthcare provider. A thorough review of all medications you currently take can help identify potential interactions. Certain drugs, such as some antifungal medications or blood thinners, might conflict with specific H2 blockers. Additionally, you can ask about the ideal timing for taking your H2 blocker, often before meals or at bedtime, to optimize its effectiveness and align with your daily routine. This level of planning not only helps the medication work better, but it also supports your sense of agency, reminding you that you are an active participant in your own health decisions. Take a moment to check in with yourself. Do you find the idea of a gentler, steady acid control appealing? Or are you worried about switching from a medication that you have taken for years, even if you suspect it might not be the best fit anymore? If you feel hesitant, remember that any change in medication should be a team decision between you and your healthcare provider. This approach respects your autonomy and ensures that the final plan is one you feel comfortable following long-term. While the advantages of H2 blockers can be compelling, medication alone is rarely a magic bullet. The next step is to explore simple yet highly effective lifestyle strategies that can boost your success and help you maintain your energy, confidence, and freedom. Lifestyle adjustments that complement your chosen medication. It is easy to focus on medication as the primary solution for heartburn, especially when you are seeking fast relief. But seniors who enjoy the greatest improvements usually combine medical treatment with practical lifestyle steps. There is a common misconception that once you take an acid-reducing drug, you can resume any habits you like, eating large, late dinners, indulging in spicy or fatty foods, and lying down right after a meal. While occasional indulgences are part of a balanced life, relying solely on medication without addressing behavioral factors can undermine the overall progress you're trying to make. Margaret, a 67-year-old foodie who loves experimenting with new recipes, found that even after switching to an H2 blocker, her heartburn was still bothering her a few times a week. She realized she was consuming multiple cups of coffee throughout the day and often ate her largest meal right before bedtime. Rather than abandoning her love of food, she decided to shift her caffeine intake to earlier in the day and aim for a lighter dinner at least 2 hours before lying down. Along with her medication, these tweaks nearly eliminated her nighttime reflux episodes. She still enjoyed a social glass of wine and her favorite treats, but with slightly better timing and portion control. Staying mindful of what and when you eat can be a game changer. Large meals place extra pressure on the stomach, increasing the likelihood that acid will travel upward. This becomes a bigger issue if the valve at the bottom of your esophagus is less robust than it once was. Instead of a single large meal, consider smaller portions spread throughout the day. This approach not only eases heartburn, but can also stabilize your energy levels, helping you maintain the stamina for walks, hobbies, or time with friends and family. Posture and movement matter as well. Walking or sitting upright for a while after eating aids digestion and lessens the chance of acid reflux. If you enjoy reading or watching television after dinner, try sitting in a comfortable chair instead of reclining immediately on a couch or bed. For some people, raising the head of the bed slightly can also help. A small wedge or a few extra pillows under your upper body can keep acid from creeping up the esophagus while you sleep. The emotional payoff of these changes is significant. It is hard to overstate the difference a restful night's sleep can make in how you feel and function the next day. On the subject of beverages, certain drinks are more likely to trigger acid issues. Coffee, tea, carbonated sodas, and citrus juices top the list for many people. This does not mean you can never enjoy them, but it can be wise to note how your body responds and then moderate your intake accordingly. Another area to watch is how you handle stress. Intense stress can tighten muscles around the abdomen and affect hormone levels that influence digestion. Techniques such as gentle yoga, meditation, or simply a quiet walk in the park can make a surprisingly positive impact on digestive comfort. If you have gotten this far, it might be a good time to pause and reflect. Do you typically eat your largest meal later in the evening? How many cups of coffee or tea are you sipping daily? Could you create a more relaxed routine after dinner so you are not rushing straight to bed? By identifying the single biggest trigger in your lifestyle and working to adapt it, you might see heartburn episodes decrease dramatically. It is these small, targeted actions that collectively restore a sense of control and reduce reliance on medication. Maintaining open dialogue with a health professional can help you tailor these lifestyle steps to any mobility or dietary restrictions you may have. Not everyone has the same level of activity or the same access to fresh foods. The important thing is to incorporate changes in a way that fits your life, rather than forcing yourself to adopt an unrealistic plan. With patience, you can find a comfortable balance that nourishes your body and protects you from painful reflux, all while supporting your desire to stay active and social. Take a moment to share your thoughts or questions if you are following along. Has a change in meal timing or portion size helped you in the past? Are you currently feeling hesitant to alter habits you have had for years? These reflections can guide your next steps and also provide support to others in the same boat. Medication management and polypharmacy considerations. For many seniors, the challenge is not just managing one medication for heartburn, it is navigating a complex schedule of pills for everything from arthritis to high blood pressure. Adding a new prescription into the mix can create concerns about drug interactions, side effects, and the logistics of proper dosage timing. There is a common misconception that you must figure all this out on your own. Yet a proactive approach that includes regular reviews with your healthcare providers and pharmacists can help you handle your medication regimen with greater confidence. Imagine Carl, a 68-year-old who manages type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and occasional arthritis flares. He was hesitant to try an H2 blocker because he was worried about complicating his existing regimen. After talking with his pharmacist, Carl learned how to time his new medication so it would not interfere with his diabetes drug. He also started using a simple pill organizer and set alarms on his phone as reminders. Within a week, his routine felt natural, and the constant burn he had grown used to was finally under control. Proper storage is another key factor that often goes overlooked. Some medications can lose potency if exposed to heat or moisture. Keeping a dedicated space in a cool, dry area of your home for all your medications can help ensure that each one remains effective. This is especially important if you live in a place where seasonal temperatures vary widely, or if you keep certain prescriptions in the bathroom where humidity can be high. Monitoring potential side effects involves listening to your body. If you notice a new symptom, such as unexpected fatigue, dizziness, or changes in appetite, do not dismiss it as part of normal aging without first exploring the possibility that it is linked to your medication. This is particularly relevant when starting a new drug like an H2 blocker or when changing doses. Keeping a small health diary can help you identify patterns and communicate more clearly with your healthcare team. Over time, you become a true partner in your own care rather than a passive recipient of prescription orders. In addition to your doctor and pharmacist, community resources might be available to help. Some senior centers offer medication management workshops or have visiting nurses who can assist in reviewing your regimen. Participating in these programs can reduce anxiety around polypharmacy. There is a powerful emotional reassurance in knowing you have a support system that cares about your health as much as you do. Reflect on your current approach to medication. Do you have a system for keeping track of your pills? Do you feel comfortable asking questions during medical appointments? The more you cultivate open, active communication, the less overwhelming the process becomes. You also preserve your independence by staying informed. Instead of feeling at the mercy of various drugs and dosages, you gain clarity about why each medication is necessary and how they work together to keep you healthy. This level of organization and awareness can also help if you ever switch doctors or see a specialist. Having a clear, up-to-date list of your medications, including dosages and timing, streamlines the process and reduces the risk of errors. Over time, you may even realize that you can discontinue or taper some prescriptions under professional guidance, especially if lifestyle changes have improved your overall health. By considering your medication management holistically, you strengthen your sense of autonomy and ensure that each pill you take truly serves a purpose in your life. If you have been tuning in up to this point, take a brief moment to consider any unresolved questions you have about combining an H2 blocker with your current medications. Write them down. The next time you speak with a healthcare provider, bring up this list and advocate for yourself. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it is also the key to aging with confidence rather than uncertainty. Restoring control. Steps to take today for sustained relief. As you gather the pieces of information that best fit your life, questioning assumptions, exploring an H2 blocker, fine-tuning your lifestyle, and organizing medication management, it can all feel like a lot to process. Yet the beauty of this approach is that each step, no matter how small, builds on the last. You do not need an overnight transformation. Instead, focus on incremental changes that, when combined, lead to significant, lasting improvement. This method is especially valuable for seniors who often juggle various responsibilities and health considerations. Start with the most manageable action, such as adjusting meal timing, then assess how you feel. If you notice improvement, celebrate it. That small victory can fuel your willingness to adopt another habit, like raising the head of your bed or limiting late-night snacks. Alongside these changes, schedule a conversation with a pharmacist or doctor to discuss the possibility of trying an H2 blocker if your current medication seems inadequate or causes side effects. Ask specifically about how it fits with your existing prescriptions to ensure you feel secure in your decision. The physical benefits of taking these steps can include reduced episodes of heartburn, better sleep, and improved nutrient absorption, all of which contribute to overall energy levels. The emotional benefits may be even more profound. Imagine feeling confident that you can accept a last-minute dinner invite without worrying about embarrassing or painful reflux. Picture waking up without that dreadful burn in your throat, ready to spend your day doing what matters most to you, whether that is volunteering, gardening, or simply enjoying a conversation with friends. Over the years, many seniors have shared that the most rewarding part of mastering heartburn relief is the feeling of control it restores. It reminds them that they still hold the power to make choices that improve their quality of life, despite any health challenges that come with age. For some, it reignites a sense of adventure, prompting them to try new recipes or travel without the constant fear of digestive flare-ups. For others, it is about reclaiming the comfort of sharing a meal with grandchildren, free from the worry of having to excuse themselves for antacids mid-bite. Throughout this journey, remember that you are the expert on your own body. Doctors, pharmacists, and trusted friends can offer insight and suggestions, but ultimately, you decide what feels right. When you approach your health choices with a curious, open-minded attitude, you pave the way for solutions that truly fit. The confidence that comes from seeing tangible improvements, like fewer trips to the drugstore or a more restful night's sleep, can be transformative, extending well beyond digestive health into every aspect of your life. If you find it helpful, consider sharing your heartburn journey with a close friend or family member who can offer moral support. You might even form a small group where everyone keeps each other accountable to new habits. While independence is key, community and connection often lighten the burden and make the path more enjoyable. As we near the end of this discussion, let us reflect on the central idea. You have the power to reinterpret heartburn not as an inescapable part of aging, but as a condition that can be managed and often improved through an informed blend of medication, lifestyle adjustments, and continuous communication with healthcare professionals. The goal is not perfection, but a meaningful increase in comfort, freedom, and self-directed living. Closing thoughts to inspire action and new possibilities. Heartburn can disrupt more than your digestion. It can make you doubt your own resilience and overshadow the activities you once looked forward to enjoying. Yet the insights shared here serve as a reminder that you are far from helpless in this situation. Whether you are just beginning to consider an H2 blocker or have been trying various solutions for years, the information you have now can help you pursue a more tailored, balanced approach. Consider the time you spend each week worrying about or dealing with the consequences of heartburn. That is time you could be investing in hobbies, relationships, or personal growth. By taking even a few small steps, like reevaluating your meal schedule, engaging in modest physical activities, or having an honest discussion with your healthcare provider, you can substantially reduce the burden that heartburn places on your life. While it is important to move forward without delay, this is not about fear or panic. Heartburn that lingers, especially in older adults, deserves attention simply because it can interfere with your capacity to live life fully. The good news is that solutions do exist, and they are often more straightforward than people realize once they start looking at the big picture. Perhaps your next step is to schedule a medication review, or maybe it is to tweak your evening routine. Whatever it is, know that you do not have to tackle everything at once. Focus on the action that resonates most with you right now, and then let the momentum carry you forward. If you have found this discussion helpful, consider sharing it with friends who might also struggle with digestive issues. They may be relieved to learn that relief can come from a combination of the right medication, mindful lifestyle shifts, and proactive healthcare communication. Being part of a community that understands these challenges can boost everyone's motivation and success. Finally, do not forget to give yourself credit. The willingness to investigate new approaches, question old assumptions, and seek better solutions is a testament to your capacity for growth. At any age, trust that you have the wisdom to make decisions that safeguard your comfort and strengthen your independence. After all, this stage of life should be about enjoying the fruits of your years of experience, not limiting yourself because of a nagging, burning sensation. Take this as your call to action. If you are intrigued by the idea of trying an H2 blocker, speak with your healthcare provider about whether it fits your unique health profile. If you are already on medication but suspect lifestyle factors are undermining your progress, pick one simple adjustment you can commit to this week. Let today be the turning point where you decide that heartburn will no longer dictate your daily activities or diminish your quality of life. Remember that progress comes in steps. Each decision you make, whether it is adopting new meal patterns, being more mindful about medication, or simply taking time to de-stress, sends a powerful message that you value your freedom and comfort. Over time, these steps add up, and you may find yourself looking back in a few months, amazed at how much better you feel. You deserve to move through life without the constant worry of heartburn, and with the right approach that is well within reach. Thank you for joining in on this important conversation. May your journey toward improved digestive health also be a journey of reclaiming joy, renewing confidence, and embracing the independence you have earned. The next move is yours, and it might just change your life in ways you never expected.